Alright, timestamp. It is August 1st, 2026. No, you can't just sit there and hog the food bowl. It's not how this works. Sam, it's almost 4 a.m. I'm going to be going to bed here in a few. Your sleep schedule is completely awry. Which I'm okay with. I like pumpernickel a lot too. But hey, I'm a German kid, so yeah. Health check. Feel okay. I've had a couple of panic attacks today, which, I don't prefer. Getting used to them like an old friend. No, I really don't like. Having thoughts of my dad and whatnot. It's causing not exactly a spiral, but just kind of an anxiety plummet. Getting a lot done around here, though. Pix has been in the bedroom, making progress there. I've been in the garage, in the dining room, in the living room, and in the kitchen a little bit. Just picking away at little stuff here and there, trying to get stuff put away, packing collectible and stuff, because I'm still gonna have my dollhouse display stuff over here, but I've got so much random stuff out, and I'm trying to put them in the right boxes, which is what I was doing in the garage, was sorting. Progress is being made. We did not go to George today. We're going to go tomorrow or later today, as the case may be. We got a little scared off by the weather, plus with all the stuff that we brought, because we filled that car. And we were still kind of reeling from the amount of stuff that we brought. But we need to go, and if nothing else, empty the fridge and the freezer, because we're probably going to be turning the electric off there. And anything that isn't spoiled will. So it would be smart to actually get the foodstuffs here to, put it in circulation and not waste it. Duh, right? I got the battery charged for the other lawnmower, so provided no shenanigans took place and the lawnmower is still inside the living room, because it doesn't matter, we can store it wherever the hell we want, pretty much. I'm going to try and get that last patch of the front yard done, and maybe, because it's been a few days, who knows, maybe the other grass has grown back up 3 or 4 inches, because Florida summer, who knows. I may run through, make sure I don't have any weird patches, whatnot. But I'm trying to mow it pretty low, because we're in the rainy season, and that tends to make the grass go very, very quickly. Just trying to stay out of trouble with, the city, the county, make sure no neighbors complain, because we're going to be making some messes there while we get our stuff out and all that. So one less thing for anyone to come knocking on the door about. I'm not actually having an angry day, and he actually looks kind of happy. It's just kind of still ruminating on the ridiculously low offer we got for the house, but overall I'm, in a pretty good mindset. Okay, that's the Starbucks medium. Alex made the pot, so I wasn't sure what had happened. And sometimes there's cause for concern, because mixing and matching of flavors, and you don't need to do that. I have good coffees here. Sometimes, sure, but every pot of coffee doesn't need to be a science experiment. it, it's a thing we've pretty much dealt with, but every now and then it rears its ugly head. Long story, I've been over this before. But yeah, a lot of sorting. A lot of sorting. Because I've got action figures, I've got toys, and I've got some, like, dollhousey stuff. Not really dollhouse stuff, but I'm making, like, smaller totes, like, foods. Because I do have some, like, kitchen accoutrement, little cooking pot there. And there was a product line that Dollar Tree had. It was like teeny something. It was like little foodstuffs and whatnot. It was in a bright pink wrapper. I stock toys quite a bit. And I was curious. I did get a couple of them. These are actually fabulous. One of them has a teapot. It's a blind bag. There's like a corn on the cob with a hot dog, and there's a pretzel too. I know I've gotten a few of those, I just haven't come across them yet, so they're not in the box yet, but they will be. In case Brad Pitt asks, that's what's going to be in here. But one of the things, and you can kind of tell which ones are which by feeling the container, feeling the blind bag, because they're very different shapes. So I did cheat on this a little bit. Get in the big box though. There's like 50 in the box or whatever, so I don't feel really bad about pulling an extra couple of. But I did grab a couple extra of the teapot, just because I think it's wonderful. It has a lid that comes off, and comes with an incredibly generic cup, which is funny to me because with the teapot you'd think they would have done a teacup, but they did not. But this would work with a lot of other stuff. Scale wise, oi, don't you start. To give an example, a rather small slate of build Star Wars figure for a scale standpoint. It's a nice size for like a 4-inch figure. On the medium to small size for like a 6-inch figure. Overall though, it works pretty well. Picked up a frying pan somewhere too. Not even sure where. But because the bottom level of that, the one curio cabinet that I'm using as part of my dollhouse, the bottom floor is going to be a lounge. I will have some foodstuffs and cooking stuff and all that. But I just made that today because I realized I kept coming up with like really small, like forks, knives, things like that. There's a bag in there that has a whole bunch of utensils. That's the word. And I'm like, I need to have a way to, because if I don't have a specific box to look for, I'll actually show you. I can know that I have them and still never find them again. Oh, good Lord, you too. I have some that are bigger, but that's a fork. Which, yes, it's a fork. And now may the fork be with you. Probably about the right scale for a 4-inch figure, but consider that an eating utensil for a 4-inch action figure. This is very small. I'm trying to think of what else I can compare it with. Oh, I got a penny. This is a penny. That's very small. So, if this were in the bottom of a much larger tote, It was never seen again. So, in a baggie, in a box that is labeled foods, because that should, and if I find more utensils, and there's probably about 20 in that little bag, if I find more, I'll just add them to that. And when I need a set or something like that, I can go through and sort it. If I do find a lot, I can actually sort it into smaller bags. These are all blue, these are all silver, whatever. Food insecurities, man. We're having issues. Nobody's growling or biting, it's just kind of a, my bowl. And that there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that, guys. And honestly, it's not Scrappy, it's Sammy. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, it's been 14 months since Sammy has pretty much cohabitated with another dog. Because Scrappy's been here with me. But they spent Scrappy's first year, whatnot, together. Sharing a bowl, there weren't any issues. But now there are. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Sometimes Scrappy will go for the food bowl. Casual, just walking up, and Sammy will kind of, like, no growl, no bite, nothing like that, just kind of like a step forward lunge thing. It's like, I'm getting an attitude here, which is, kind of unacceptable. We need to talk about this. And that's one thing about our house. Everybody eats. Everybody eats. Got Star Trek 2 in my head now. Food? How can you think of food at a time like this? First order of business, survival. It's a thing, right? Gotta eat. Which does not mean you have to go to Checkers, but you gotta eat. I'm not gonna go long tonight. I've been pretty long the past couple, and I apologize because I know this is just kind of my diary, my journal. But I know that even with my insanity, I can drone on with it. Well aware. But yeah, health check. I feel good. Panic attacks throughout the day. Don't care for them. I might grab a quick shower before I go to bed. Pix made a path to the bathroom where the shower is. She's been tearing it up in there, but she's been getting a lot done too. One brick. Installing a little bit more before I go to bed would be a good thing. Because I've got her laundry in the dryer right now, and I don't like to leave the dryer running when everybody's in bed. I'm not sure. I think Alex might still be up, but he's not going to necessarily know to check the dryer, make sure that no shenanigans take place. And that dryer gets stuck. So it could run all night with high heat. Not a great situation from a safety standpoint, so we try and avoid that. But yeah, she had a bag of laundry that she brought from the house. I did my laundry, and she's been busting her butt in there. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and do her laundry for her. And it's funny because she was like, when we brought this home here, well, I called it home. Wow. That's weird. That's real weird. When we brought the stuff here the other day, she had 2 bags. She's like, this is my laundry. This is a whole bunch of junk towels that need to be washed. We can use them as junk towels at Leo because they're kind of banged up, but you said that you needed some, so I found these and put them in a bag. I'm like, cool. but with like shoving things in nooks and crannies. They're pretty good size, like white trash bag kind of things. I was able to squeeze one bag in. I'm like, I'm gonna take her clothes. You know what I mean? The junk towels, that can wait a few days. Let's get my girl a little bit larger wardrobe, because she's glamping as well. She's got like, 2 pairs of jeans, 2 pairs of shorts. It's like, let's bring some of the stuff that you can. We've had a few days where it was like, okay, I need to do laundry before we can go anywhere, which I've been there. I get it. So that'll help solve some problems, and maybe, make it to where she can be a little bit more flexible with what she's doing. So I got my laundry done. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and do hers. She warned me. She's like, that laundry needs to get done. And actually, I was expecting like bog of eternal stench kind of thing when I opened the bag or something. Normal, stale kind of smelling laundry. It wasn't like, whoa. Did you run a marathon and then roll around in some shit? It wasn't anything like that. It was honestly kind of non-offensive as dirty laundry goes. Some of my shirts are a lot worse than that. When I become a salt lick, if I don't get to it until 2 days later, whoa. If somebody passes out, just put my shirt under their nose. They'll be up in a flash, I'm awake, Scrappy's eating kibble, and Sammy keeps putting his head in the bowl and like dragging the bowl towards him. It's just like, dogs and cats, they're like children, right? Between the two of them, they emptied the bowl. Do I need to refill it, or are you guys going to behave? I'm going to try it. Kids. Thank you for nearly tripping and killing me. I appreciate that. Sammy's starting to camp right on the bowl. That's what we're dealing with. It's just within range. Well, you're right in the way of me getting to my stool, bud. But he can reach his face over and like drag it and hold it between his front paws. He hasn't done it yet, but he's thinking about it. Because Scrappy's looking at the bowl like, kibble. Go ahead and eat, bud. I know he's kind of guarding it. Go ahead and eat anyway. We're going to nip this. That is not acceptable. It's just, I know kids, but there's food, okay? There's a half a bag of kibble over there. You guys are good. You don't need to be... this isn't apocalyptic kind of dystopian thing going on here. But yeah, going through my toys, bagging, sorting. Tired. Did dishes. Wrapped some glassware. Trying to work all the little pieces of the puzzle so I can make everything move forward. The games are about to begin again. Scrappy, if you want to eat, man. Because that's one thing about Sammy being right there. I can pop him in the back of the head with my foot. Games. Alright. I apologize for that. Oh, I put up my cowbell. That's one thing. I don't think anybody's seen it yet. But I put up my... I love this thing. Put that up too. My dragonfly wall hooks that Pix was like, I really like that. That's really cool. I'm like, maybe I got you some really cool cat and mice ones. You're not taking my stuff. The dragonfly one, that's mine. I got you some stuff because you were like, ooh, I need something like that. I found a couple things on Amazon. I said, which ones do you like? And you went, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I want that one. Okay, you got that one. You can't have all of them. I need somewhere to hang my keys. But yeah. It can be louder, obviously, but I got people sleeping because it's, 4 in the morning. And I'm a little considerate. Not a lot considerate, but I'm a little considerate. No, I'm pretty considerate. Yeah, Sammy. Slips like, he'll like wrap his whole body around my stool so that there is no approach. You're gonna snort at me? Okay. This guy. Yeah, you. So I wanted to refresh and see what the weather was looking like. Got another sale on eBay. $5 Among Us figure. Just one of the, like, a loose, the PVC, blind, whatever. It's the dark blue with the fedora. If you collect those, whatnot. But I sold one, so I need to get that out. $5 on it. It's cool. Blah, blah, blah. Clear, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy. Scattered thunderstorms. Thunderstorms, scattered thunderstorms. Cloudy, cloudy, scattered thunderstorms. Okay, at the moment it looks like it's going to be wet tomorrow. I don't know. Because they have been wrong 1 out of 3 days this week. True story. And they've been wrong twice in the past week. Once in each direction. One day they said it wasn't going to rain and it poured, and once they said it was going to pour and nothing. So, not mad, I'm just pointing out there's some inconsistencies. I may not be able to mow. Take the battery anyway though, just because it's smaller than a football. I can, if I don't use it, I don't use it. But we do need to get the fridge and freezer empty. Unplug them, prop them, prop the door open, all that. And in prepping the garage, I'm going to have room to set them up out there. So we'll have a backup fridge and a backup standing freezer. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my parents' big fridge that's out there, because I'm not even sure. I think it works, but I think they had problems with it, so I'm like gun shy on it. I'm not sure. It smells awful. It needs to be cleaned out. I don't want us to have, 80 appliances here. That's unnecessary too. That freezer's amazing, and having a backup fridge. This fridge is weird as far as its space and all that. And Pix wanted to have a fridge where she's more of a rabbit in the way that she eats. So she was kind of like, can I have the fridge somewhere so that I can have my produce and whatnot, because it won't fit in the big fridge with everything that you guys have going on in there. So I do need to set that up out there. It's a pretty basic fridge, just kind of like an apartment fridge. It's not anything crazy, it's 5 foot tall fridge, freezer, standard American apartment kind of deal here. But I have a plan. I know I'm going to make it work. And we are going to have a lot of storage out there. But I don't think we'll be able to get everything that we want to bring here there. We got a couple planned L's and T's that we're working on. And also a what? I've had a lot of friends from the UK. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Definitely crossing some things off my list. Definitely adding some things to my list. That's how it works. But, yeah, hug your parents, hug your kids, work your list, 1 brick. Put your toys away, damn it. I mean, the ones you're not playing with. Make it a great day.